podcast number 2 for Stitch.Cræft. My name is Leah. I am a mama and a knitter and a sewer. I recently started using leather to make some things, and that was really fun. So that's something new I'm learning, adding to my list of crafts. I like to weave. The list goes on. Embroider. I don't even remember anymore. I do so many crafts. But mainly I love to knit. Knitting's my favorite. So it's been 2 weeks since my first ever YouTube video or podcast or anything like that. And I'm so surprised at how many people watched that video. And I'm really like happy about all the really lovely comments people put on my video. So many people seem to enjoy watching, and that just made me feel really good. So I wanted to come back and do another, of course. It's been a really busy couple of weeks in our house we have my son's birthday is today, my husband's birthday was 2 days ago, and then of course Halloween or Samhain, however you like to celebrate that holiday. It was really fun for us. My youngest is soon going to be 2, so this was her first Halloween where she was mobile and could walk around, and she was a sheet ghost, but she mostly didn't wear her costume at all, and just went around knocking on doors, and she thought that was really fun. She had her first lollipop, which I thought was really cute to watch her eat that. So we had a really good time. So yeah, I just thought I would talk about some projects that I've still been working on. I actually have not finished anything at all since the last podcast, but I have made some progress, and I have started 2 more things. And that's not true. I finished a sewing project, so I'll show you that. So yeah, have a sip of tea. Let's see. So last time I was showing you guys the Hobbit vest with pockets that I'm making for my son for Christmas. Luckily it's not for his birthday because it wouldn't be done on time. So it's kind of all bunched up now. It's a little bit hard to see, but I have the pockets finished. So this is Frogginet made with 2 strands of Plotulopi, and the pockets are all sewn in, and they actually turned out really, really nicely. I've done pockets before on projects that I felt didn't really turn out so good, or like you could really see that there were, connections and just didn't go together all that well. And this one, I think it turned out really, really good. You can see that there's some sewing, just stitching on the back there, but I think that looks really cool. And so, I feel like it's gonna come off the needles. So yeah, so the tops are joined, the sleeves, the holes are open there. And I've just started working on the front, the button band that goes all around. And that was a lot of stitches to pick up at one time, like a lot. It's not my favorite thing. Definitely, I've done some patterns before where you work the button band at the same time, and then you don't have to go back and pick up a bazillion stitches, and I prefer that. But that being said, I really, really, really love how this is working out. My son really likes like D&D and stuff like that, so I think that the rusticness of this Hobbit vest is really cool and going to be great for playing in. I think by the next episode we'll have this one done. So what else? So speaking of button band, last time I forgot that I had a project that I was working on that I hadn't finished in a long time. I started this actually in the spring, and then I ran out of mohair. And then our local yarn store here closed where I had previously bought the mohair. So then I had to order online. And that is a bummer. We don't have a local yarn store here anymore. And I would really, really like to start one. Let's see. So this is Ozetta, but I don't remember what the pattern is called now. It's slipping my mind. Season sweater? No, I don't know. I've actually knit a lot of her patterns because I like them a lot. But I'm on Sleeve Island here, and this pattern is knit, where you knit the button band at the same time as the body, and it's in this really gorgeous like fisherman's rib. Really, really, really beautiful. I have it kind of like cropped. I'm hoping it won't grow too much in the length after I block it, because I think it'll look really nice with like high-waisted skirts and jeans. That's kind of what I wanted it for. I'm either like kind of crop or like really, really, really long, one or the other. I knit this with the like just cream color in Lettlopi, and just a cream mohair. I think I used lichen lace, but I might finish it with another cream because I can't find that mohair anywhere to order. I found it, I think, but it would have cost a lot of money for the shipping. And yeah, anyway, I'm really excited about this sweater. I think I'll feel really inspired to finish it when the snow comes, which today we had a little bit of snow for the first time, but it was mostly hail and wind. But I guess you could call it snow. It's not going to stick though, that's for sure. This is like a really, really warm year for us. What else? So yeah, I will link the name of that cardigan. I think it's called oversized something. I will link it. And another thing is I was chosen to do a test knit, which I'm really excited about, for 100 Acre Wool is her Instagram handle. And she put out, I've been wanting to knit a shawl for a while now. I just haven't found the right pattern. And then I had found the right pattern that I wanted to make. But I had promised myself I wasn't going to knit any personal projects for myself till after Christmas, because I have Christmas gifts to knit. So I had the yarn ready to go. And then when I saw this test knit, it's kind of, the pattern is somewhat similar to the pattern that I had picked out that I wanted to do. So the yarn choice was like really perfect for it, I thought. So I was like, oh, I'll just apply and see. I might not even. And then I was chosen. So I have till the end of December to finish it, but I haven't been able to put it down. So it's a really, really fun, oh yeah, something I realized about myself the last time I made my first podcast is that I say really, really a lot. Not just really, but really 2 times often when I'm speaking. So I'm gonna try to do that slightly less. So anyway, this pattern is from 100 Acre Wool, and it's called the Caroline Shawl, which I think she said in a video, I watched her podcast, that it's like for Caroline, who is the person behind On a Rocher, which is another, I don't think I said that right, which is another company that makes unspun wool. I'm knitting this one with Plotulopi. Plotulopi is a lot easier for me to get over here in Canada. I just order from the Icelandic store. I did a little reel a while ago of me doing an unboxing of my largest yarn order ever. So I'm just like in my glee this fall with projects that I already have everything I need to make. It's so much fun to actually have some. I usually just buy one project at a time, but I guess now I'm overwhelming myself with the amount of projects that I'm doing because I have more yarn. It's fun. So anyway, this pattern is so pretty, and it's not even finished yet. There's like a surprise at the end that kind of changes the pattern, but it's just so cute. It's got all of these like really natural, like really organic feeling, rustic textures, and I love texture patterns. Got these cute like bauble guys. I think I really love color work, and I love people that I love when I see color work on other people, like color, like you know, Fair Isle and things. I think, oh, that's so cute, that's so nice. And then but I don't often do Fair Isle because it's something that I just don't think I'd wear very often. It's like a statement piece compared to the rest of my wardrobe, which is really muted and neutral. So I love texture work like this because it's like you get all this really cool stuff to knit, because it makes the knitting project more interesting. You're like, ooh, this new thing is coming up. What's this next section going to be all about? And it looks so nice and still organic, but it's not overly bold. So it's kind of like best of both worlds. So I'm in love with texture projects right now, with unspun, of course, and like plus with mohair, depending on the project. So yeah, this is gorgeous. I'm so excited that I'm test knitting this right now. I haven't knit a shawl in like a couple of years. And I think that the last shawl I knit was kind of inspired by that Outlander show, which I really like. And it was a Tin Can Knits like free pattern that is really, it's lovely. They have such great patterns. They're like free ones are like, usually I don't like, I wouldn't choose to do a free pattern. I will choose to do a pattern that is paid for, because I just think designers work so hard to make things wonderful and beautiful, and they do such great jobs, and it is hard work, and you put so much into designing. And I think that to give that away for free is, I don't know. I just think that you should be paid for the work. Designers should be paid for their work. But I do think it's really cool that Tin Can Knits, they have some free and some paid. So they have like a really simple, basic line of patterns that they put out for free. And I think that's so wonderful for people that are first starting, because when you're first starting to knit, I remember when I was first starting to knit and I was looking for patterns, you know, on Ravelry or whatever, I was always looking for free patterns because I didn't really know what I was looking for in a pattern. And the problem with free patterns and being a beginner knitter is that a lot of free patterns are not overly well written. Not all, obviously, but a lot of. And so you're kind of in this place where it's like you're knitting something from a pattern that's not well written, even if it looks like a beginner pattern. And you think like, oh, this is so hard, or like I'm not doing a good job, but really it's just because the pattern is not well written. So Tin Can Knits, they have this like basic line of patterns that are really, really well written. And I think that's so important. So whenever I teach knitting classes, and that's, you know, a lot of the time if people are like, hey, what kind of pattern should I do? I will often, you know, recommend Tin Can Knits, just because their patterns are so simple and well written and really, really thought out and really well written. I've said well written more than once now. So yeah, anyway, that's usually where I'll go for beginner patterns. So that's my test knit, and it's beautiful, and the pattern is perfectly written. So far there have been no issues at all. What else? Oh yeah, I started a bonnet for my baby, and I think it's over here, and there's not much to show because I've really only just started. So this, I'm knitting it with one strand. I took a small amount of a Manchalopi cake that I had, and I separated it. So it's one strand of the Manchalopi Wool Dreamers, and one knitting for Olive. This is called Cloud, I think, and it has like a slightly pink hue to it, but it's not very noticeable, especially when you mix it with this gray. But I think it really does have a very cloudy kind of feeling. And this actually also is, speaking of tin can knits, this is tin can knits, and I've knit this pattern 5 or 6 times. Every year I make my girls a bonnet for the winter. So with this one, I chose the same gray that I made my baby's Christmas sweater that I knit her, that I talked about in the last episode, which is the pattern by B. Mandarin, the tulip jumper, and it's perfect and beautiful. So this is just such a pretty color, and it's kind of like pumping out now, and I need to switch my needle to a longer needle because I was just using these short needles to do the I-cord. But this pattern is super easy, and it knits up really, really fast. And it's great for bonnets for little kids because it's got the tie on the bottom. You know, they won't keep a regular hat on, that's for sure. But yeah, it's really simple, but it really, really, really cute. Every year I get so many compliments on my baby's bonnets, my little one's bonnets. The other girl's not a baby anymore. What else? I think that's all the knitting projects that I'm working on at the moment. And let's see, so I have a project bag that I made with that beautiful fabric I showed you guys in the last episode. And I'm in love with it. I think it's so beautiful. I made some leather straps to put on it. I still need to oil them. Actually, I should have done it before I put them on the bag, but I was so excited. So I used, in the bags that I make, I use an all natural cotton canvas. And then this is a cotton linen blend, just cotton and linen. And the print is screen printed. So that's the Rifle Paper Company fabric, and it's beautiful and soft. And for the leather, I always, in my leather working that I'm learning to do, I use veg tan. Veg tan leather is, it's like a more natural, the way that they tan it is really natural. They don't use like a really high chemical process. And the thing that I really think is cool about veg tan leather is that, like, this is so creamy, so it looks really pretty with like some lighter colors. But if you just put some some oil and let it soak in. It will soften and it will turn a little bit more brown. But then as you use it, it becomes more and more broken in and soft and brown. It kind of like darkens really organically in like just the right places. It gets what's called a patina, which I don't know a whole lot about. It's kind of like, you know, this natural darkening. And I really like things like that. I like when something is made with things that are all natural, and they kind of have this quality where they age with you, like over time. And it's not like an aging where it looks old and ratty. It's like an aging where it, you know, like wine or cheese, it ages in a way that makes it more and more beautiful the older it gets. So I really like that. I think it's super cool. I make these straps myself. So each piece of this bag is handmade by me, and it cinches together. Put some cotton thread there, and it stands up on its own really well. So when you're knitting, you can kind of have it open, and it's got lots of pockets. You can put, you know, your knitting needles here. I've got a lot of like little small pockets for those kinds of things. And then I've got some bigger pockets for, you know, needle notions and measuring tape. I've got my firefly, what's it called? Firefly notes, which are my favorite little boxes. The raccoon is one of my spirit animals. That and the squirrel, because I squirrel stuff away. That's what I'm told, at least. I have another tin from Firefly Notes with mushrooms. And I really love these. You can order them on Etsy. She's based in Canada. I love supporting Canadian small companies. And yeah, so these will be up in my Etsy shop, which I will link down below. And I've got some other colorways coming as well. If my week will slow down a little bit from all the birthdays and festivities, I will be able to sit at my sewing table, or if I stop being so addicted to the test knit that I'm working on, because it's really, really fun. I think that's it that I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who commented on my last video. It really did make me feel inspired and make me feel like I really want to continue making videos. Yeah, I'll link everything down below, and like if you like it. And I'll see you again next week or the week after. All right, see ya.